Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, February 11th. A lot to talk about, a very active weather pattern going forward for the next week to 10 days or so. We had some snow overnight in the Mid-Atlantic region from an initial system. Another system pushes in the direction of the Mid-Atlantic region tonight, but it looks like it'll be mainly suppressed to the south of the Washington, D.C. metro region. They'll be on the northern fringes, could get a little bit more snow in the overnight hours down in that part of the Mid-Atlantic region into early Friday morning. Then another system promises to bring some snow, sleet, maybe some freezing rain to the Mid-Atlantic region this weekend, probably later Saturday into early Sunday, and there could be a big storm to deal with in the Mid-Atlantic region Monday night, Tuesday time frame. Snow, sleet, freezing rain on the table for that, and we'll talk about some possibilities for even a colder solution on that particular storm system. Really thinking that the low pressure area, instead of cutting up to the north and west of the I-95 corridor region, makes more sense for it to go farther to the south and east, and that would produce a colder solution potentially for the Mid-Atlantic region. Here's the latest radar loop. Had maybe 3-4 inches in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania last night. Philadelphia came in with officially 3.1, 1, 2, 3 inches in and around New York City. Anywhere from a coating to a couple of inches in the D.C. metro region. They had certainly quite a bit of mixing going on. It was all snow up north of the Mason-Dixon line. Still some good snow bands early this morning across the Delmarva Peninsula into southern New Jersey. This is primarily snow, and it is accumulating as this initial system slowly pulls to the south and east. Another system is on its doorsteps, and that will head towards the Mid-Atlantic region for tonight into early Friday. But again, that'll be suppressed a little bit more to the south, with D.C. on the northern fringes of its precipitation field. Probably no snow tonight in Philadelphia or New York City, but it could be some in the D.C. metro region from the second system for tonight and early Friday morning. Well, we really have some incredible weather coming up over the next several days for much of the nation. We've talked about a stormy pattern and some bitter cold air that has been generally in the region from the northern plains to the interior northwest all the way across to the upper Midwest. One of the fascinating parts about this cold wave is its longevity. There have been many, many days now with extreme cold in places like Chicago, Minneapolis, Bismarck, North Dakota, and this Arctic air will plunge southward over the upcoming weekend and produce some incredible temperatures, incredibly low temperatures, near zero or below, in as far south as Texas. We'll watch. This is the forecast of the 850 millibar temperature anomalies by last night's 0Z run of the GFS, and just watch this plunge over the by the latter part of the upcoming weekend. This is just unbelievably cold air, and it dives to the south through the Central Plains and into Texas. Look at this. This is far, far, far below normal. May cause numerous records down in that part of the nation, and wouldn't you know it, there'll be a big storm to accompany this plunge of Arctic air down into deep into the heart of Texas. Nothing really can stop Arctic air once it makes a move in the Central Plains. No mountains will modify it. It just drops if the upper air flow warrants, it'll drop southward all the way into Texas. And again, there can be some significant snow and ice down here by the latter part of the weekend into the early part of next week. And that snowstorm will encompass the Rockies, then snow and ice from the southern plains all the way down to Texas, and it'll move up into the Ohio Valley with a significant snow and ice event. This will be news-making weather coming up latter part of the weekend into the early part of next week, with the combination of snow and ice and bitter cold in some areas. Well, let's take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly field as we begin the day here on Thursday, and then we'll go ahead to the middle part of next week. There's an important change going on that will allow for an increased possibility of these ice storms, potentially an ice storm in the Mid-Atlantic region, and certainly from Texas to the Ohio Valley, there'll be a significant area of sleet and freezing rain later in the weekend into the early part of next week. And one of the reasons why is the changes that will be coming to the upper part of the atmosphere. For days now, we've had this block over northern Canada and into Greenland with a deep upper level cold low right in this region right here. And that has produced a fast flow of air, kind of a battle zone right in the Mid-Atlantic region, cutting across portions of the Midwest between that cold air there and warmer air down here. There's kind of a high pressure ridge across the southeastern U.S. And again, a battle zone region between the cold air to the north and west and the warmer air to the south and east. Fast moving flow. These tight lines here suggest that there's a fast moving flow in the upper part of the atmosphere that tends to stretch out the upper level support, weaken the surface systems, but again, a battle zone region right here. Now watch what happens as we go into the middle part of next week. Again, kind of a west to east flow here, but by the time we get to the middle of next week, notice here this particular flow of air turns more to the southwest between this deep upper level low that dropped from here all the way down into here, and the high pressure ridge has kind of moved out over the western Atlantic. So the combination of the trough to the west here and the ridge to the east generates a southwesterly flow in the upper part of the atmosphere. Now, if you have Arctic cold air locked in over the northeastern part of the nation, that spells ice. That spells warmer air moving in aloft, but Arctic dense cold air locked in at the surface. And keep in mind, from northern Maryland all the way to New England, we have quite a bit of a snowpack, especially north of the Mason-Dixon line. That helps to keep the cold, dense Arctic air in place. So with the kind of a subtle shift in the winds from west to southwest over the next several days in the upper part of the atmosphere, that increases the chance for significant icing. And again, that threat will extend all the way from Texas into the Ohio Valley and into the Mid-Atlantic region, not only with the weekend system coming up, but also one or two storm systems next week. Now let's take a look at the vorticity maps from last night's zero-Z run of the GFS. And remember, we just talked about a kind of a zonal flow, a west to east flow in the upper part of the atmosphere. Fast moving winds tends to stretch out the vorticity, and that's what you see right here. We have one system last night produced 3-4 inches in some areas, not bad. Another weak system tonight, though, suppressed a little bit farther to the south. Just can't get a big storm with this kind of a fast-moving zonal flow in the upper part of the atmosphere. Then let's move forward now and see what happens over the next several days. Here we are now into Friday, starting to turn a little bit here to more of a southwesterly flow of air. Here's Saturday, and again a little bit of a turn to the southwesterly flow in the upper part of the atmosphere. And this is a system here, some energy here that will help to produce some snow, sleet, freezing rain in the Mid-Atlantic region later Saturday into the early morning hours on Sunday. But notice out here, a very strong wave of energy now as of Saturday night, cutting into California. And watch what happens to that. That dives all the way to the south and east by the time we get it into Sunday night. Very impressive wave of energy here. That's the same time that Arctic plunge makes it all the way down into Texas. This will result in significant snow in the Rockies and significant snow across the southern plains. Oklahoma could have very, very cold air and significant snow to accompany it, and snow and ice all the way down into the heart of Texas. And with this southwesterly flow now setting up in the upper part of the atmosphere, this system could result in a major snow and ice event from Texas to the Ohio Valley late in the weekend, early next week. Let's move forward here. And here we go. This is now all the way into Monday night. And at this time, the Mid-Atlantic region will be on guard here. And Previous model runs have had the surface low cutting up to the north and west into the Ohio Valley with this Monday night, Tuesday setup. It doesn't make all that much sense considering the fact that there'll be an Arctic air mass with high pressure anchoring it across southeastern part of Canada. I think as time goes on over the next couple of days, we may see kind of a shift from the surface low from the Ohio Valley farther to the south and east. That produces a colder solution in the Mid-Atlantic region. In other words, a chance for more in the way of snow and ice rather than ice and rain Monday night and Tuesday. Let's go out a little bit farther. Notice that moves over into the northeastern quadrant, and on its heels yet another system here. We could be dealing with another snow, sleet, rain event later next week, so the active weather pattern continues right through next week. Now let's take a look at the surface maps from last night's 0Z operational run of the GFS. Initial wave here produced some decent snowfall overnight. The next wave is suppressed a little bit farther to the south and east, maybe snow all the way up in the DC metro region, but it should be confined to areas south of the Mason-Dixon line. Philly, New York, little to no impact overnight tonight. There it is by later on tonight, in the middle of the night. Maybe some snow up across DC. A decent snow band down across central part of Virginia in the overnight hours. Now that moves away, and then we have some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico with cold air in place as we begin the upcoming weekend. This is the Saturday morning forecast map. Again, a lot of cold air sitting on top of snow cover in the Mid-Atlantic, in the northeast U.S., and moisture coming up from the south and east, and that spells trouble. All these colors here represent freezing rain, sleet, and the blue represents snow. A combination of snow, sleet, maybe freezing rain for the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor region, for example, from later Saturday into Saturday night, Sunday morning. It can be a buildup of ice. We'll have to watch out for this over the upcoming weekend. That gets on out of here by Sunday, maybe early Sunday, still some residual precipitation. And then here is that mess over the southern plains, Rockies, a big snowstorm. We're talking late Sunday, Sunday night going into Monday. This has some very strong support in the upper part of the atmosphere, a strong Arctic high over the northern plains. And that system will move to the north and east, and there'll be a major ice event. And snow on the northwest side, ice on the southeast side of this area from Texas to the Ohio Valley. Late Sunday into Monday, this will be a significant, a news-making event. And then we go into the time frame of Monday evening into Tuesday morning. And that could result in a significant ice, snow event for the Mid-Atlantic region. Notice the position of this low pressure system here over the Tennessee Valley as of Monday evening. Then it kind of moves to the east, and a significant ice event going on in parts of the Mid-Atlantic region and farther off to the north and west. But look at this weather pattern here. We have strong Arctic high setting up over, we're still situated over the northern plains, and kind of a secondary Arctic high over the southeastern part of Canada. I've called this kind of a system a banana high. It kind of can take on the shape of a banana. And again, prior model runs have had this surface low going up to the north and west, right into the heart of that Arctic air mass. Doesn't make much sense to me. I think it'll start shifting, and it may have started to shift with the overnight model runs. We'll see if that trend continues farther to the south and east, and that brings colder air farther to the south and east, and potentially a colder solution for Monday night and Tuesday with more snow and ice rather than ice and rain for the Mid-Atlantic region. In fact, take a look at this particular location here by Tuesday morning. This is from last night's 0Z model run for Tuesday morning over southern Virginia, northern North Carolina. Let's go back to yesterday morning's model run for the same time period. Look at that over here in the Ohio Valley. That's the from yesterday morning's 12Z model run of the GFS. So it shifts from the Ohio Valley in that location here for Tuesday morning from yesterday morning's model run to all the way to this area by the time we get into Tuesday morning. So quite a shift between the 0Z run last night and the 12Z run yesterday morning, and I think that trend will continue in other model runs over the next couple of days, and it could present bigger problems in the Mid-Atlantic region come Monday night and Tuesday. Let's move forward here, and that moves away with significant snow interior northeast on the day Tuesday, and then we have a whole other system to deal with by the latter part of next week, probably Thursday time frame, with more ice and snow in the Mid-Atlantic region. So we have a very active weather pattern going through all of next week. A weak system tonight produces some snow across central Virginia, maybe up to the D.C. metro region. There'll be some small accumulations possible, but nothing north of the Mason-Dixon line. An event later Saturday into early Sunday, snow, sleet, maybe some freezing rain mixed in for the Mid-Atlantic region, then a strong storm Monday night, Tuesday, and perhaps another one next week on Thursday, and we'll see how that Tuesday system, that Monday night Tuesday system evolves over the next few days. Potential for significant ice or snow next week in that Monday night Tuesday system, and again could be a decent buildup of ice this weekend, later Saturday into the day on Sunday. So a lot going on. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.